She thought she could marry me for stability and mock me behind my back, until my cousin's recording played at dinner with her parents, forcing her to finally face the version of herself she tried to hide from everyone. That I always thought the worst betrayals were loud. Shouting, slammed doors, thrown objects, dramatic exits. Turns out the most devastating ones happen in normal rooms, under warm patio lights, while everyone else is laughing and passing around potato salad. The family reunion was at my aunt's lake house, the same place where I'd learned to fish as a kid, where my cousins and I used to jump off the dock and pretend we were superheroes. I brought my fiancée, Leah, because she'd been asking to be more included in my family traditions. That should have been my first red flag, the way she always wanted the image of closeness, not the work that goes into it. She got drunk fast, not sloppy drunk, mean drunk, the kind where her smile gets too wide and her voice gets too sharp. I was inside helping set up dessert when my cousin Dylan walked in with a strange expression on his face, the kind halfway between disbelief and sympathy. "Dude," he said quietly, "you might want to check on Leah." I asked him what happened. He just shook his head. You need to hear it yourself." He took out his phone and showed me the screen. Recording to M4A 131. My stomach sank. He pressed play. Leah's voice came out first, slurred but clear enough to cut through bone. "Oh my God, Dylan, relax. I'm only marrying him for his money. Honestly, you should try it. He's easy to manage." Then laughter, hers. A kind of laugh I didn't recognize. Sharp, cruel, proud. I didn't finish the recording. I just stared at the lake through the window until my vision blurred. My first thought wasn't anger. It was confusion. Where in her mind did she think I had the kind of money worth marrying for? I'm financially stable, sure, but I'm not rich. Not gold digger target rich. The answer hit me instantly. Her assumption, her fantasy, her entitlement. Dylan looked at me carefully. "Man, I'm sorry. I didn't want to stir anything, but I figured you'd want to know." He was right. I wanted to confront her immediately, but the thought of causing a scene in front of my entire family, of my mom seeing something crack, made my stomach twist. So I walked outside, joined the bonfire, sat next to Leah, who wrapped her arm around mine and kissed my cheek as if she hadn't just gutted me. "Everything okay?" she asked, smiling. "Yeah," I said. "Great, actually." I don't know how I kept my voice steady, but in that moment something inside me clicked. Not rage, not heartbreak, just clarity. I realized she wasn't someone who made one stupid drunken mistake. She was someone who showed who she truly was when the mask slipped. And I decided I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to fight. I wasn't going to corner her or accuse her. I was going to let her speak for herself, in front of the people she always tried so hard to impress. 3 days later, I made reservations for a dinner with her parents, something she'd been begging me to do for months. She thought I finally wanted to build bridges. She dressed up, wore her nicest dress, kissed my neck on the way out the door. "You've been so sweet lately," she whispered. I smiled the same way I did at the lake, because the truth was already recorded, already preserved, already waiting. I just had to press play. The restaurant was one of those quiet, polished places with dim lighting and soft music, the kind Leah loved because it made her feel high status. Her parents were already seated when we arrived. Her mom stood up to hug me warmly. Her dad gave me his usual firm handshake. Leah squeezed my arm under the table, beaming like she had already won something. If only she knew. The small talk before the storm. Dinner started normally enough. Polite questions. Wine poured, her mom gushing about wedding plans. "So," her father asked, "how are things between you two? Getting excited for the big day?" Leah glanced at me with that rehearsed, Instagram-ready smile. "We're perfect," she said. "He's been so supportive lately." Her parents nodded approvingly. I simply said, "I'm glad you feel that way." She didn't catch the tone. Her parents didn't either. But the universe did. The waiter came back, set down water glasses, and walked away. That was my moment. "There's something I'd like everyone to hear." Leah looked at me, confused. I placed my phone on the table. Her parents glanced at it, curious, expecting wedding-related photos or some cute surprise. Leah tilted her head. "What's that?" I took a breath. "It's something that was said at the family reunion. I think all of us deserve the truth before moving forward." Her eyes widened, just slightly, but enough. I pressed play, and there it was. Leah's voice, drunk and smug. "Oh my God, Dylan, relax. I'm only marrying him for his money. Honestly, you should try it. He's easy to manage. Her mom froze. Her father's jaw clenched. Leah went sheet white, then bright red, then white again, like her body couldn't decide which emotion to run with. She shot out of her chair, reaching across the table for my phone. What the hell are you doing? Turn that off. I didn't move. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't flinch. Her parents stared at her, stunned silent. When the recording ended, the restaurant suddenly felt colder. Leah stood beside the table, trembling, tears already forming. I, I was drunk, she stammered. I didn't mean any of that. It was a stupid joke. Dylan must have misunderstood. He didn't misunderstand, I said calmly. He recorded it. And honestly, I'm grateful he did. Her dad leaned forward slowly. Is this how you talk about him? He demanded. Dad, no. You don't understand. Her mom covered her mouth with both hands, horrified. Oh, Leah, what have you done? Leah sank back into her chair like the weight of what she'd said was finally crushing her. She broke down, but not for the reason you'd think. She grabbed my hand, crying loudly now. Please, please. I didn't mean it. You know I love you. Please don't do this. Please don't embarrass me like this. Her choice of words said everything. Not, please don't leave me. Not, please forgive me. But don't embarrass me. Her mom noticed that too. This is who you've become, her mother whispered. Using someone's love like a piggy bank. Leah sobbed harder. Her father's voice was firm and quiet, the kind of quiet that carries real disappointment. You don't marry someone for money, and you don't treat people like they're fools. She wiped her face with trembling hands and turned to me again. Say something, she pleaded. Please. I nodded. Okay. She looked hopeful. And then I said, the engagement is over. Her breath caught like she'd been punched. I'm not angry, I added calmly. I just won't spend my life with someone who sees me as a financial strategy. Her parents didn't argue. They didn't defend her. They didn't blame me. Her father actually nodded in sad agreement. Leah collapsed into her seat, sobbing uncontrollably, saying my name over and over. But this was the first time in months, maybe years, that I finally saw her clearly. She wasn't crying because she loved me. She was crying because her safety net just disappeared, and her own family had heard the truth straight from her mouth. I stood up, quietly placed some cash on the table for my meal, and said, take care of yourselves. Then I walked out, leaving her and her carefully constructed world cracking behind me. Little did I know the fallout wasn't over. The next morning, her mother would call me, and what she'd say would change everything I thought I knew about Leah and my self-update that I didn't expect my phone to ring the next morning, at least not from her family. But at 8:14 a.m., her mother's name flashed across my screen. For a second, I considered ignoring it. I didn't want more drama. I didn't want excuses. I didn't want guilt tripping or emotional cleanup. But something in me knew I needed to hear whatever this was. I answered. Hi, I said cautiously. Her mother's voice came through shaky and exhausted. The kind of voice you hear from someone who spent the entire night crying. Thank you, she said quietly. I blinked. It wasn't what I expected. For what? I asked. For not yelling. For not humiliating her in public. For not making a scene. You handled last night better than most people would. Better than I think I would. I didn't know what to say, so I stayed silent. Then she added, and I'm sorry. For everything she said. For everything you heard. For everything she hid. That last word snagged my attention. Hid, I repeated. There was a long pause. Then her mother exhaled shakily. Sit down. This is going to be a lot. I sat. She continued. Leah has always struggled with responsibility. She's been spoiled, and we enabled it without realizing how much damage it caused. She's dated men before you for convenience. Not for love. She used people. Not always maliciously. Sometimes just carelessly. I swallowed hard. That night at dinner wasn't some isolated drunk comment, her mother said. It was a pattern resurfacing. Then came the bomb. She told us, before you two even got engaged, that she was hoping marriage would elevate her life. Her words, not mine. I closed my eyes for a moment. Her mother kept going, voice tight with guilt. She thought being with you meant security, stability, a nice house someday, children with a future. But she didn't understand that you don't take those things from someone. You build them together. I opened my mouth to respond, but she wasn't finished. After you left the restaurant, she said softly, she fell apart. Really fell apart. Not just crying. Panic attack. Hyperventilating. She kept saying she ruined everything. that she lost her only chance. I didn't say anything. I didn't feel vindicated, just numb. Then her mother's voice lowered even more. Last night she admitted something else. Something I think you deserve to know. Another pause. A longer one this time. She said she was afraid you'd leave her someday, so she made herself believe you were with her for the wrong reasons. She tried to get ahead of a heartbreak by telling herself she had the power. But she didn't. Not really. I rubbed my forehead. Her mother wasn't covering for her. She wasn't excusing anything. She was explaining the mess of insecurity and entitlement that had been festering inside her daughter for years. Then her mother asked the question I knew was coming. Would you consider speaking to her? Just once. She's not asking for you back. She just wants to apologize properly. I thought about it. About the recording. About the dinner. About the crying. About the facade finally shattering. And the truth was, I didn't hate her. I just couldn't trust her. I don't know, I finally said. That's fair, her mother replied softly. But if you ever do want to hear her out, she'll be at home. She won't contact you unless you reach out first. Before hanging up, she added one last thing. You were the best thing that ever happened to her, whether she sees it now or not. After we ended the call, I sat there for a long time. My phone buzzed once, a message from an unfamiliar number. It was a photo from Dylan, my cousin. A picture of Leah at the reunion, smiling widely, drink in hand, laughing with people she didn't appreciate. Under it, he wrote, "Man, you dodged a bullet." Maybe he was right, but something in me still felt unfinished, like I owed myself one last step before fully closing this chapter. I didn't know then that my final decision would blindside everyone, including her. Final update that I told myself for days that I wouldn't talk to her again, that everything had already been said, already been revealed, that hearing her voice would just reopen wounds that were finally starting to close. But endings have a way of calling you back, not for closure from the other person, but closure from your old self. The version of you that tolerated things, excused things, ignored things. So after 3 days of silence, I texted her. Me. We can talk. One time. Public place. Tomorrow at 3? She replied within a minute. Leah. Yes. Thank you. I'll be there. The final meeting. We met at a small park by the river. Neutral, quiet, open space. No walls, no doors, no pressure. I got there first. She arrived looking different. Not put together. Not dolled up. No makeup, messy hair, wearing an oversized sweater like she didn't care how the world saw her. She looked like someone who'd been forced to face herself for the first time. She sat on the bench across from me, hands shaking. "Thank you for coming," she whispered. I nodded. There was a long silence. She finally spoke. "I know you don't owe me anything, but I want to say this right. I wasn't drunk when I said those things." Her voice broke. I meant them. Honesty. Raw, ugly honesty. It's strange how liberating it is, even when it hurts. She continued. "I thought, if I married someone stable, someone kind, someone like you, it would fix the parts of me that feel broken. I thought your life would become my life too. I was scared I didn't bring enough to the table, so I pretended I didn't need to." She swallowed hard. I was wrong. About everything. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but she didn't wipe them. It wasn't performative crying. It was real, unfiltered regret. "I hurt you," she whispered. "I disrespected you. I embarrassed you. And I'm sorry. Not because I got caught, but because I finally understand what I lost." I nodded slowly. "Thank you for saying that," I said. Her eyes searched mine, unsure if there was hope hidden somewhere behind them. Then she asked the hardest question. "Is there any part of you, any part at all, that wants to try again someday?" The wind moved between us. Leaves rustled. People walked dogs nearby. Life went on. I took a long, quiet breath. "No," I said softly, "but I hope you heal." Her face crumpled, not in anger, not in shock. In acceptance. She whispered, "I understand." And she did. She stood up after a moment and added, "You were the first person who treated me like I was worth something. I wish I'd treated you like you were worth something too." She turned to leave, then paused. "And thank you for not yelling, for not raging, for not hating me. You showed me what a real partner looks like. I'm sorry I wasn't one." Then she walked away. No begging, no bargaining, no attempts to spin the story. Just truth, late, but true. Aftermath, the quiet ending. When I got home, I felt lighter than I had in months. Not triumphant, not smug, just free. I boxed up the last of her things and dropped them off at her parents' house. Her mother hugged me before I left and said, "You'll make someone very happy one day. Thank you for giving my daughter a chance to grow up." Even if she didn't take it, life moved forward quickly after that. I canceled the wedding venue, refocused at work, started hiking more, spent time with friends I'd neglected while trying to hold a broken relationship together. Strangely enough, Dylan, the cousin who recorded everything, introduced me to someone months later. A friend of his, someone grounded, someone kind, someone who doesn't measure relationships in dollar signs or status points. We've been taking things slow, healthy slow, and I've learned something important. Some relationships break you, others build you, but the best ones remind you who you were before you started shrinking to fit someone else's comfort. As for Leah, last I heard, she moved back home for a while, working on herself, going to therapy, trying to rebuild. I genuinely hope she finds better footing. Not for me, not for us, just for her. But our story is done, and the only thing left is the quiet, clean truth. Sometimes love ends not with explosives, but with clarity. And sometimes the greatest kindness you can give someone is letting them face the consequences of their own choices.